how to make magical talismans for Pisces in Lunar Mansion Number 28. We're talking about how to make amulets and rosaries and those kinds of things. And this is to create magical talismans to bring you the reaping of great rewards for profitable Lunar Mansion Number 28 in Pisces during June's waning half moon. Now, according to Cabalistic lore, Pisces is ruled by Jupiter and Neptune, with Pisces Birthstone being Aquamarine. Now, Lunar Mansion Number 28 spans from the end of Pisces to the beginning of Aries. But this particular moon, this particular waning half moon, is in the Pisces portion. Therefore, we're going to talk about the Pisces amulets and talisman alchemical metals and gemstones that you can use to create jewelry or rings or necklaces. You can make rosaries, you can make amulets, all kinds of magical talismans using these things. Now, rosaries and amulets using aquamarine for Pisces are magically potent for this praxis. Cabalistic and alchemical planetary associations in this instance of a waning half moon in Pisces whilst transiting through Lunar Mansion Number 28 could be utilized with perfumes, essential oils, herbs, or flowers, as well as colors. You can use all kinds of various associations for what they call sympathetic magic. Now, the planetary alchemical metal in this case would indicate tin for Jupiter. So you can realistically use tin, the metal tin, for Jupiter, and Neptunium for Neptune is not good because Neptunium is radioactive, okay? But tin is not toxic and it's not radioactive. So you can realistically use tin. You cannot realistically use Neptunium because it's toxic and radioactive. So therefore, you want to go ahead and just use the tin. So like a lot of rosaries are made with a tin chain, and then they have some kind of a bead made out of, like for this would be aquamarine, okay? So you could use tin, and you could use aquamarine and make a beautiful rosary or a beautiful amulet or some kind of beautiful magical ring or necklace or bracelet of some kind. So you can do all kinds of things. And what you want to do is also understand that there's also some traditional things that are done during these mansions, and they're used in movies, they're used in advertisements, they're used in TV shows, there's renderings that are used, there's traditional pictures, they're even used in tarot cards. And you can do strong magic, and we're going to talk about what Agrippa said in his book, 3 Books of Occult Philosophy by Llewellyn. Well, he wrote the book way back in the 16th century. Nevertheless, Llewellyn has a more modern translation that's edited and annotated by Donald Tyson. And also, we're going to talk about some things that were mentioned by a gentleman called Vivian Erwood Robson. And his book, the 3 Books of Occult Philosophy is Henry Cornelius Agrippa, but the other one, it's the Fixed Signs and Constellations in Astrology, and that's by Vivian Erwood Robson. You know, I don't even know if Vivian Erwood Robson is a man or a woman. The name Vivian can be used for both, so I don't know if it's a man or a woman, but nevertheless, the book is great. So that's the 2 books that you want to get. Also, Christopher Warnock's book is for Mansions of the Moon and Lunar Astrology Magic, and we'll get to those in a minute. But right now, what we want to do is talk about what Agrippa recommends. Okay, now Agrippa mentions that for Mansion of the Moon number 28, the ancients traditionally made an emblem of copper for the purpose of rendering an icon of a fish, as used by magicians as a magical talisman for Mansion of the Moon called Albotham or Alchalcy, for the clear intention of catching a large number of fishes. Copper is alchemically associated with the planet Venus. It's important to note here that according to Vivian Erwood Robson, author of the book The Fixed Constellations and Constellations in Astrology, the Greek astronomer Ptolemy gives the precise planetary attribute of Venus to the star Mirach, which is located specifically in the left hip of the woman Andromeda, who has been chained as a sacrifice for the sea monster known as Cetus or the Kraken to feast upon, according to the Greek legend. Now, Mirach is also named Beta Andromeda. Now, why is Mirach or Beta Andromeda, the star, important? Because it's the pointer star for Mansion of the Moon number 28 according to Warnock. So you can wish upon this star. Okay? You can wish upon this star during this mansion. And you can use an emblem of a fish that is made out of copper, and you can scent it with fish's scales, as Agrippa mentions, or it's mentioned in Picatrix, and you can toss it into the body of water where you want to catch fish. So Mirach is a specific star. Now, generally speaking, for Pisces, this is in Pisces, generally speaking, Pisces, you use tin. Nevertheless, for Venus, use copper. And why are we using Venus? Not because Pisces is ruled by Venus. No, it's because the specific star Mirach, or Beta Andromeda, in this constellation, okay? Also in constellation of Andromeda, okay, is more specific, okay? The Pisces is a generalization, but specifically Andromeda, and specifically in her hip, and specifically Mirach for specifically Mansion of the Moon number 28. All right? So that's what we're getting at, the real specifics here. Okay? And that's what we want to help you understand, how to use the mansion real specifically. Okay? Now, if you wanna again go ahead, and therefore the magician can use the metal of copper, which is recommended by both Agrippa and Ptolemy, for use in the making of magical talismans situated specifically for the star Mirach, or Beta Andromeda. For the purpose of making rosary chains, jewelry settings, or amulet bases, copper would be the precise alchemical correspondence for the Venusian attributes of specifically Beta Andromeda or Mirach when fashioning magical talismans for the lunar mansion named Albotham or Alchalcy. A rosary made with aquamarine beads affixed to a copper rosary chain, or an amulet made of aquamarine gemstones, as well as the gem of choice for a piece of magical jewelry, an amulet, would be of great magical value for the working with the energies of the star Mirach, okay, shining from the left side of the belt of the Princess Andromeda, chained to the rocks as an offering to the great cryptid. Okay, now keep in mind that the number assigned to each mansion of the moon may vary, relying upon both the cultural and the astrological attributes of the system being used. What pinpoints the exact lunar mansion to which we are referring is made clear by the use of the star to be wished upon, as well as by the name of the indicated mansion of the moon. Okay, so this is called Albotham al-Hut by Warnock, and it's called Alchalcy. It's called yes, Albotham or Alchalcy by Agrippa. Now we want to tell you again the books to use. Again, Mansions of the Moon, A Lunar Zodiac for Astrology and Magic, Christopher Warnock and Renaissance Astrology, illustrated by Nigel Jackson. Also, 3 books of occult philosophy, Llewellyn sourcebook series, authored by Henry Cornelius Agrippa of Nitisham in 1533, translated by James Freak in 1650, edited and annotated by Donald Tyson in 1993. Okay, Llewellyn. Okay, The Fixed Stars and Constellations in Astrology, authored by Vivian Erwood Robson in 1923, published by American Federation of Astrologers, and cover design by Jack Kippola. And again, this is from 1923. Want to get the specific page numbers? Click in the box on the blog and get the specific page numbers. Thank you for joining us. Join us again next time.